Okay, we'll start with percent. The structure of the session is we'll discuss basic concepts related to percent, what exactly are the questions based, how the questions come in various competitive examinations. So we'll study everything, and then we'll see certain important fractions to percent conversions. So this part is very important. So there are certain things which you need to remember. Certain fractions to percent conversions are there. There's a tabular form in which I'll be giving you certain tips and tricks how to do a particular question in small amount of time. And then we'll discuss greater than and less than type questions. Now greater than, suppose 10% greater than this value, or 10% less than this value. So this type of questions, again, we'll do certain questions which are discount related questions, or no, price related questions when price gets hiked, or population related questions. They all can be catered and be done with this greater than and less than topic. So, and then we'll do certain practice questions based on whatever concepts we have done in this previous above mentioned topics. Let's start with percent. Percent literally means per 100. So this point is very important. So whenever we say 19% or some percent, so it means 19 per 100. That means 19 divided by 100. Now 19 upon 100 can be converted into decimals as 0.19, or 19% out of every 100 things. So if we have 100 things with us and we are picking 19 out of it, so we'll say that it's 19%. Or in other terms, we'll say that 19 divided by 100. So both, all these three things are almost similar, so you can understand in any of this way which has been mentioned here. Now the basic formula for percent is equal to part divided by whole. Now what exactly, right now we have said that there are 100 and from that we are picking 19. So 19 becomes the part and whole becomes 100. So from 100, so if supposedly we have 20, let's take an example. Let's say 20 is what percent of 80. Now 20 we have to pick from, well, from the whole of 80. So we'll say 20 is the part and 80 becomes the whole. So 20 divided by 80, if we'll substitute in this formula, so it becomes multiplied by 100%. We always have to multiply this by 100%. So if we'll see or cancel this out, though, it becomes 25%. So this becomes a simple formula, or we have done a question as well based on percentages. Okay, let's now say to convert decimal or fractions into percent. So how will convert decimal or fraction into percent? Will multiply by 100%. So this is a process, this is the way we do. So decimals or fractions, let's take an example. So 0.18, 0.18, if we say 0.18 and we need to convert this into percent, what we'll do is multiplied by 100%. What we have done, so multiplied by 100%, it gives us 18%. So 0.18 is nothing else but 18%. Similarly, when we have to convert percent into decimal, so percent into decimal is we'll divide by 100%. So this thing only is to be remembered, that when we have to convert from percent to decimal, it is to be divided by 100. Let's take an example. 24%, 24 divided by 100%, 24% divided by 100% is 0.24. So we'll say 24% is nothing else but 0.24. Similarly, 0.9% is nothing else but 0.009. So we have seen in this how to convert from decimal to percent and from percent to decimal. So for decimal to percent, we have to multiply by 100. From percent to decimal, we have to divide by 100. You need to remember where multiplication and where division is to be done. Now these I was talking about. So fraction to percent conversion. So it says that there are certain important percent equivalents. So 1 upon 1 is 100%, 1 upon 2 50%, 1 upon 3 33%, 0.3%, 1 upon 4 25%, 1 upon 5 20%, 1 upon 6 16.66%, 1 upon 7 is 14.28, 1 upon 8 is 12.5%, 1 upon 9 is 11.11%, 1 upon 10 is 10%. So these why I've read is so that you should be very conversant with these percent uh, fractions to percent conversion, and similarly percent to fractions also can be calculated, and this becomes very easy. Supposedly if the question says 33% of 30, so 33% is what? 33% is 1 upon 3. So certain times you will have to convert from percent to fractions to make your calculations easy, and certain times you will be requiring to convert from fractions to percentages according to the question. So you need to see the question, what exactly is the question asking, and then you need to go ahead and strategize accordingly. Now next is keyword. To remember the word of means to multiply. You need to remember of always means to multiply, and is means equal to in the questions related to percentages. Let's understand with an example. So 25%, what is 25% of 40? Now of, just now we have said of means to multiply, so we'll say multiply 25% of means multiply, multiplied by which number? 40. So 40 is equal to, now 25%, just now we have said 25% from the previous slide is 1 upon 4. So this becomes again, you can see that the advantage of learning from fraction to percent and percent to fraction. So we have converted from percent to fraction. So 25% is 1 upon 4 multiplied by 40. If we'll multiply 1 upon 4 with 40, it becomes 10. So this becomes quite handy by using these simple tricks. Let's take one more example. It says that 10% is 33% of what number? Now is, just now we have said is means equal to, and of means it's to multiply. So 10 is equal to 33%. Just now we have done 33% is 1 upon 3 of what number? Of means multiplication, and what number? N. The number is n. So when we say 10 is equal to 1 upon 3 of n, so n becomes 3, n becomes 30. So from this again we have said that is means to equal to, and of means to multiply. Now let's take one more example. It says 9 is what percent of 3? 9 is, again is means is equal to what percent? So we have taken n percent of 3, again of 3. So n, from this calculation n becomes equal to 9 upon 3, which is 3 into 100%, so it becomes 300%. So this becomes a way to calculate all the questions which are on the simpler note for using is and of. So is, remember, it's always equal to. Of, remember that it's to multiply with the whole. We'll discuss more questions based on it. uh, don't worry about other questions. So if the basics are clear and you're aware about what exactly is to be done, so the things becomes very easy. Let's take percent greater than questions. If the question says x percent greater than or more than, x percent greater than or more than, any of this word is there, then convert it into 100 plus x percent of the complete. So whenever say x percent greater than, so what we'll do is 100 plus x percent. Let's understand with an example. So it says 28%. What is means is equal to 28% more than 50. 28% more than means 28, 100 plus 28, 100 x, this is x is 28, so 100 plus 28 percent of what value? Of the complete total 50. So 128 upon 100 into 50 into 50, which will be equal to 64. So this is how we'll calculate greater than. So whenever it says greater than question or more than percent, x percent, so what we have to do is we have to only add 100 plus x, only will do 100 plus x percent of the whole, and then proceed the question as we have just now discussed in the other questions. So this becomes very easy.